Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? So, Errol Spence shuts down any possibility, thought, or idea of fighting Keith Thurman. There was like a fan or somebody on Twitter that was, kind of trying to get at Errol Spence, saying that Keith Thurman will knock you out in 7 rounds. Errol Spence was basically saying that, hey, ain't no way Keith Thurman gonna fight Jerron Boots Ennis. This dude, he wouldn't even mention my name. He shivered at the thought of Errol Spence Jr. His braids became unraveled at the thought of Errol Spence Jr. Every time you see in a Keith Thurman interview and they mention Errol Spence Jr., you seen pink oil moisturizer start trickling down the side of his face and that perm start to come unloose. You dig what I'm saying? Every time, that's what happened. And that's how Errol Spence was saying, like, y'all need to be realistic. This man ain't finna fight Jerron Boots Ennis. You seen how he acted with me. And then a fan jumped into Errol Spence's mentions and said something to the effect of, hey, man, Keith Thurman to knock you out in 7 rounds. And Errol Spence said, the world will never know. Because I'm not fighting this dude. And you know what? I don't blame Errol Spence one bit for treating Keith Thurman exactly how Keith Thurman treated him. Now, do I think that'll be a nice fight to see one day at 154? Hey, yes, I think that's a fun fight to watch, because you can say what you want about Keith Thurman, but Keith Thurman is always exciting, and the man can talk. He can build up a fight. So that aspect of the fight would be entertaining. However, Keith Thurman missed his opportunity. He had an opportunity to fight Errol Spence when Errol Spence was 16-0 in the same position that Jerron Boots Ennis is in right now. Before Errol really got into his groove and became the fighter that he is today, he had an opportunity to go ahead and knock Errol Spence off. Now, Keith Thurman did become unified champion. He got elevated to the WBA super champion. He ended up fighting Danny Garcia, who was undefeated at the time, in a unification match, which was a really good performance by Keith Thurman. He did some incredible things for his small run at 147. Had an opportunity to go in there and fight Manny Pacquiao. I think he underestimated Pacquiao, and I said that all along in my build up to that fight. I thought he underestimated Pacquiao. He went out there and he got beat. Another opportunity that he let slip through his hands. He could still be in a power position right now if he would have won that fight versus Manny Pacquiao. But all that pussyfooting around and playing games and I'll get him when I get him, or you know what I'm saying, and it's just all this extra stuff that Keith Thurman had going on, and he wasn't able to stay at the top while he was doing all that maneuvering. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be maneuvering like that, you gotta be really that guy. You gotta be able to stand on what you've been saying. And Keith Thurman wasn't able to do that, so you lost your opportunity, and you played too many games with Errol Spence's name, and that's just what it is. And I also wanted to bring this up as well, is because you still got a lot of these guys out here who really don't want to see Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. So they trying to create all these different angles. They talking about, man, it ain't up to Errol Spence. PBC gonna make him fight Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying, man? The Terrence Crawford fight ain't gonna happen. These dudes still. Hey, I told y'all, bro, when this fight started getting closer and closer, these boys' energy starting changing. They still talking about splits. They talking about Al gonna make Earl fight Keith, and they talking about, I think, behind the doors, behind closed doors, they making the Errol Spence and Keith Thurman fight. That's why we ain't got the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford announcement yet. You feel what I'm saying? These people don't want to see this fight. A lot of them is not Terrence Crawford fans. I keep telling y'all, bro. They just Errol Spence hater. These dudes really not. We ain't talking about the real Terrence Crawford fans. We talking about these guys with these fake narratives on social media, on YouTube, that really don't want to see this fight. If you want to see this fight, you should not be making no videos right now talking about the fight not happening. You shouldn't be making if you're a real boxing fan, you shouldn't be making no posts, no videos talking about this fight not happening. You shouldn't be making no, frail-minded, pessimistic-minded videos talking about, man, I don't think the fight gonna happen, man. We ain't had no announcement. Man, Earl, you think they gonna put Earl in there with Terrence Crawford? This one of the only pay-per-view fighters that they got on PBC. Why would they put him in there with Terrence Crawford? Come on now. All these people making these posts and stuff, you not really no boxing fan. You don't want to see the fight. Errol Spence just came out and shut all that shit down. He said the world will never know. You not finna see no Errol Spence and Keith Thurman fight, let alone before fighting Terrence Crawford. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight is happening next, and that's the only fight either one of these guys want, and that's the only fight that we need to be talking about. You know what I'm saying? So but I just want y'all to pay attention. Y'all see the energy shifting. You see the narrative changing. Now we're about to see from the lead up, from now up until when the fight happens, and then after the fight, we gonna see who really, out of the fans and these so-called content creators, we gonna see who really wanted to see this fight, or who just wanted to sit on YouTube and get in the comments and argue all day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that come to Contender Regime Boxing, we debate about the fight, who we think will win and why. We break it down from a boxing standpoint because we actually want to see the fight over here. But a lot of these folks out here, they don't want to see this fight. They want this shit to carry on for years and years so they can have videos to make and so they can try to talk bad about Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying? Or just try to, take shots and hate on the motherfucker. That's what they want. You know what I'm saying? That's what they live off of. I told y'all, I seen that shit with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd. They was mad when the fight got made because then now they don't got nothing to talk about. Now we actually got to see. You think Manny gonna whoop Floyd. Now you got to stand on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now these boys actually got to stand on all that duck talk that they've been talking about because the fight actually gonna happen now. You feel what I'm saying? Even Terrence Crawford came out and said, the fight bigger now with Undisputed on the line. Man, both of these guys is in the right headspace, and this shit is gonna happen. That Keith Thurman talk, that shit shut down. I don't want to hear nothing about Keith Thurman and Errol Spence. It's not happening, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So stop with that fake ass narrative. You want PBC to try to make a Errol Spence and Keith Thurman fight because you don't want to see Bud get in there with Earl. You don't want to see it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all don't want to see Earl put them hands on Terrence Crawford. Y'all don't want to see that shit. So you hoping they put Keith Thurman in there instead. I see what y'all got going on, man. Cut all that bullshit out, man. Errol Spence shut down all Keith Thurman talk. We focus on Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, and we going to continue to build that fight up, every week, every month until the fight happens. And it's going down, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. I found that real funny, man. Errol Spence is savage. The dude is chill as hell, cool, calm, and collected. But the man don't play no games now. He don't play no games. He said, look, that motherfucker wouldn't even mention my name. He trembled at the thought of Errol Spence. Now you think he finna get in there with Jerron Boots Ennis, and you think I'm gonna give him an opportunity? No, it ain't happening. He had his opportunity and he lost it. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.